once again, Retro Joe, bringing you all the highlights from Monday Night Raw. So, this week we opened it with a promo for Mr. Drew McIntyre, our new WWE Champion. Yes. I also want to note that it was interesting this week because we had the return of Mr. Jerry Lawler. Yeah, that was kind of cool. Mr. Jerry Lawler's back doing his thing. Pretty good stuff. The Drew opener was very good, I would have to say. And then we get Andrade, though. He comes out, during this, because if y'all remember, Andrade was the one that won the belt from Drew in NXT. So he comes out to challenge him. Like, I figured this was going to happen, but yeah, it was a good opening promo. I think Drew's going to be a good champion. I think that this is a good decision for the company to go in this route. One of the lines that I really liked that Drew said was, as soon as Andrade came out for his promo, guys, he was like, and the crowd goes mild. I thought that was pretty freaking hilarious, honestly. Yeah, it was pretty good. So in this one, we had the Money in the Bank qualifiers. So the upcoming pay-per-view, Money in the Bank, if y'all don't know, this is the briefcase, the Money in the Bank briefcase. It's a ladder match to decide who gets the Money in the Bank briefcase. So whoever gets it can cash it in at any time in the next 365 days to have not have an opportunity to have a match against the current champion. So what I saw about this, there was 3 matches tonight, and one of them is kind of significant to me going forward with someone's future in WWE. And we'll get to that shortly. But anyways, as always, our MVP of the Pro Wrestling Power podcast was Asuka, because the first match was Asuka versus Ruby Riott. It was a really good match. I love Asuka in the ring. I think she's amazing. And obviously, y'all know who won this. But I'm going to tell you why Asuka won. Actually, no, I'm not going to tell you why. I'm going to let Asuka herself tell you why Ruby Riott could not win this match.
Ruby was not ready for Asuka.
Yep, exactly. From the Empress herself, that is why Ruby Riott did not win this match for the qualifier. So Asuka will move on to the Money in the Bank match. Great. And there's a reason why this is, because y'all know that Asuka and Kairi Sane lost the belts on WrestleMania to Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross. There is a political reason behind this, and we're going to get to this very shortly in the Kairi Sane match. But moving on, we have to move on from this. So after this, we get a promo with Rey Mysterio. No, that's not correct. Well, literally, I'm jumping ahead. I'm jumping ahead too far. Hold on. So this whole Raw is basically the Money in the Bank qualifiers for the women's side, and then next week is going to be the men's side. So actually, we get a promo right now from MVP where he's letting everyone know who's going to be in these matches for next week. So for what we know right now, we have Rey Mysterio versus Murphy in a match, Aleister Black versus Austin Theory in a match, and Apollo Crews versus MVP. He was in his VIP lounge talking about this. So we have promos throughout this. I can't go over every promo because there was a lot of promos, but there's a lot of promos here and there. That's all I was going to talk about. Rey Mysterio, he has a small promo. None of these promos are anything like to write home about. They're just, I'm coming forward. I'm going to get Money in the Bank. They're all the same. They're basically all the same. I love Mysterio. I hope he does get a chance next week. But we'll see. We have to wait. Then we have a short promo from Becky in the ring. Becky Lynch comes out and basically is telling everyone she is ready for whoever after beating Shayna Baszler at WrestleMania. I don't know if this is going anywhere. I do like Becky Lynch. She's amazing. But her promos lately are just very bland. Like, I don't understand why they're writing the character this way. The man character is pretty cool. But where are you going with this? Like the Shayna thing, I was not excited for. The Shayna thing, it fell flat for me in WrestleMania. I did not like that match. We need someone to come along to take this belt from Becky and to give some fire in the women's division again. Some fire for this. Who's going to be? Asuka. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe. We'll see. Anyways, we had a lot of squash matches on Raw, and some of them were even cut from their. There was two separate releases of Raw, which kind of disturbed me a little bit. You had the actual USA version, and then you had the YouTube version. And WWE claims that the YouTube version, it says full Raw, and it's on their channel, but it's not the full Raw. It's missing segments. I had to go back and watch it twice because over here where I'm at, I can't get USA Network, so I'm having to mess around with it to get it to work. So anyways, this was one of the matches that was pulled from it. I don't know why it was pulled from it, but it wasn't broadcast in the international section. It was Aleister Black versus Oney Lorcan. I went back and watched it. I did not really care for this match, honestly, because Oney Lorcan to me is like a lower mid-card guy, and Aleister Black, he's getting a push right now. So I don't understand why they let him last as long as he did in the ring for this one. I don't really like squash matches, but Aleister Black's been squashing everybody really. And this one went on a little too long, I thought, for Black. Black did take the win though. So moving on from that, we have match number 3. This is my match of the night, WTF moment for WWE. What are you doing? This was the stupidest thing I've ever seen. It wasn't called for, and I don't understand what you're doing. So this is a Wildcat local. I'm talking to you, Wildcat. Match 3 was Sarah Logan versus Shayna Baszler. Ugh, Baszler. Anyways, yeah, Sarah Logan. Yeah, I think she's great. I've met her before. She's an awesome person. I think she's great in the ring. But what the heck are y'all doing in this match? Okay, this was the second qualifier for the Money in the Bank. All we get is Shayna Baszler coming down there being Mrs. Monster, and I'm going to crush everyone in the ring. And then you basically beat up Sarah Logan, was smacking her around for literally this whole match lasted not even a minute. Okay, she was like kicking her, like stiff kicks. Like, Shayna, watch yourself, okay? Because this is pro wrestling. This is not MMA no more. All right. Your job is to make the match look entertaining, not to really kick her that hard. Because I was seeing some really stiff movements from you. Like, that's not how you work in the ring. That's the opposite of how you work in pro wrestling. Oh my goodness, it was so stupid. It was, even the ref messed up the ending. So we had basically her kicking her around, and then Baszler like curb stomps her elbow into the floor, and the ref calls it. He just calls it right then. It was a very short match, and then we hear from the announcers that Sarah Logan's moving on in the qualifier, and I was like, oh, that's awesome. I love Sarah Logan. Then we go to commercial and we come back and they're like, no, Baszler wins. Like, seriously, what? You just told us that Sarah Logan won, then you cut to commercial, then you come back and you tell us that Baszler won because of a Sarah Logan can't continue type deal with the ref. That was stupid. Guys, y'all gotta fix that crap. Stuff like that is why fans walk away from this, because you cannot do that. It was like a super squash into a weird finish that wasn't even a finish. I don't know what to say on it, honestly. I'm gonna move on to it because it really disturbs me and it grinds my gears. Baszler. Match 4, we have Akira Tozawa versus Austin Theory. Now, at the beginning of this whole Raw, we had Andrade challenging Drew McIntyre for the main event of the night. And throughout the night, we get Austin Theory with Angel Garza and Andrade having matches. Like, his two guys are having matches throughout and basically doing mean stuff afterwards, like bullying jobbers. I don't know what to say. Yeah, Austin Theory. I mean, it was a decent match. Austin Theory did take out, Tozawa, but there's not really a story build-up. They're just like squashing jobbers, and afterwards on all these matches that they're having, Austin Theory, after he beats him, he has his goons come down and beat up on Akira. silliness. It's just plain silliness, if you ask me. Garza and Andrade came down, did the beat down. Now, throughout the night, we're getting these weird Seth Rollins promos. This is super weird to me because, like, y'all saw that Kevin Owens beat him, got his WrestleMania moment, a couple weeks ago. And yeah, I don't know, throughout this whole thing, Seth does like 3 or 4 promos. I'm not going to speak on each one of them because there's not much to say, but he's basically saying, I'm not over with the Messiah has returned. We'll get to more of that later. But yeah, throughout the whole thing, they're kind of weird, very weird. Match 5, another squash match. Yes, Raw was filled with squash matches this week. It seems to be a running theme. I will give them some props though because they've started using less of the Kevin Dunn zoom action cameras, and I hate those camera movements. I despise Kevin Dunn for doing that in WWE. That almost killed the business for me, man. I hated it. I hated the action zooms. When they started doing it, I stopped watching for many years. It makes me nauseous and I hate it, but I'm happy that they're starting to cut down on it. It's still there, but they're cutting down on it. 3 weeks ago, it was nauseous to watch. WrestleMania, first night, pretty nauseous. WrestleMania night 2, it got better. Now the shows are starting to use it less, and I'm very happy. Anyways, we have match 5, Angel Garza versus Tehuti Miles. Never heard of this guy. He's from NXT, but he's basically a jobber. It was super quick squash match again, with Angel Garza taking the win, obviously, because their little team is running over. They're like the inner circle of Raw this night. I'm just saying, they're the inner circle. Not as cool, but they're the inner circle. They squash them. Afterwards, same thing happens. We have, Austin Theory and Andrade come out and beat down for Tehuti Miles. Sorry, bro. Jobber's life. Sorry, this is just the squash is squashing my brain. Match 6, we have the third and final Money in the Bank women's qualifier match with Kairi Sane versus Nia Jax. Sorry, it's Nia Jax. They may look alike. It's Nia Jax. Anyways, this is another squash alert, but guys, I'm just saying, another squash match. I didn't like this being a squash match because this is a qualifier match. Why are they squashing people in these qualifier matches to be in one of the best pay-per-views of the year, other than WrestleMania and Royal Rumble? Money in the Bank's always a fun pay-per-view, but they're squashing these people that are becoming eligible to be in it. That's not a good story. I don't like that. It's not good. Nia Jax in a ladder match? Just saying, come on. Ladder matches are high-flying, super fast-paced events. Nia Jax is none of that. She is slow in the ring, and she's not. Her skill set is very low, okay? She does not need to be in the Money in the Bank ladder match. It's just, ugh. So anyways, yeah, Nia won, obviously. But I'm going to tell you why, and this is where we go back to the Asuka thing. So, if y'all don't follow Twitter or anything like this, Kairi Sane's career in the WWE is possibly coming to a close because her contract is coming up. It's supposed to be ending very, very soon. So this is why I saw them booking the whole loss at WrestleMania for the belts. This is why I saw her losing versus Nia Jax. Even though, Nia Jax is huge and it looks like she could crush anyone, especially Kairi Sane. Comparably, Kairi is very small, against her. But I've seen Riho beat Nyla Rose in AEW. It can't happen. But I think they're trying to bury Kairi Sane as her contract is ending. They're trying to do the Matt Hardy thing and get rid of her. So, yeah. Not really pleased with that, but hey, you have to write people out of storylines. It's just, when people leave, it disturbs the fans when people just don't show up the next day and they've already moved on to the new company. You got to write people off the storyline because the whole thing is a story. It's It's a wrestling soap opera, and you have to write it as such. So even if you don't like it, you have to write people off in certain ways sometimes. Match 7. Another squash match. We have Lashley versus No Way Jose. Yeah. Very short, very dominant. Lashley crushes Jose. Jose, he just had no way. There was no way. Funny story. Me and Wildcat were at an NXT event one time. And you know how, celebrities, wrestlers and stuff, they don't typically mingle personally with fans and stuff. They keep things separate, locker rooms. You can't just go back there and stuff because security, whatever. But I told Wildcat, I said, hey man, I'll be right back. I gotta use the restroom. I went back there, went up to the stall. Who walks up next to me and starts his urination cycle? It was No Way Jose. That's right. That's my close-up fan experience of No Way Jose. I was like, hey, what's up, man? He's like, hey, what's up? Stupid, but I know. Yes, I urinated next to No Way Jose in an NXT bathroom. I don't know. I just thought it was funny. Y'all should know that. Match 8, another match that wasn't shown on the YouTube version of Raw. Viking Raiders versus Ricochet and Cedric Alexander. It was a decent match. Nothing really to talk about on it. I mean, the decent bout by both of them. Viking Raiders took the win because they're super big, dominant Raiders, and they crush everyone in their way. Even though Ricochet's awesome, I don't know why they had him win. Lose to Viking Raiders, but whatever. It happens. We're going to have to move on because I don't want to keep you all night. I know you have things to do, time to spend with your families, and you should. So let's go on to the final match of the night, the build-up to this whole episode. Drew McIntyre versus Andrade. I didn't understand this. I kind of did, but I didn't. I know Andrade injured Drew McIntyre in NXT and took the belt from him, but recently we've had Drew McIntyre take out Brock Lesnar, the Beast Incarnate, and the Big Show last week on Raw. Very, very quickly, in like a minute or two. The biggest dominant people in WWE. And then you have Andrade, who's not that big, come out there, and the mask? No, it's not a Jim Carrey film. The match lasts like 7 or 8 minutes. I was like, so you're telling me Andrade, a smaller dude than Drew McIntyre, with not as much skill as Drew McIntyre, can hold his own versus Drew for 7 minutes, yet Drew can destroy the biggest beast in WWE in like 2 minutes, and the Big Show in the same night in like, a minute or two. And you put them on for this long? This was the one I thought should be a squash, really. Honestly, or not really put. I don't know. I think they're trying to put Andrade over. I don't know why they're beating these two together because they're two different championships. You got the WWE champion and the USA champion. Like, what are you gonna do? Have like a match where someone wins both belts? That's just silly. You can't have all the gold. That's just greedy. Don't do that. So the show ends. We have all these mysterious Seth Rollins promos throughout the night. So after the match, when Drew McIntyre wins with his kick from Claymore County, that's right, Claymore County hits that Claymore, Andrade takes that win. Seth Rollins comes out. We see what's going on. He has this very evil look on his face. Like super, super evil look. He super kicks Drew McIntyre in the face, and then he curb stomps him twice. And he looks at the camera, really, just evil look, super heel. So, what are we seeing here? Is this the birth of the Dark Messiah? Is this what we're getting? I don't know. I guess we'll see coming up next week. It looks kind of interesting because we need someone to challenge Drew McIntyre that can hold his own and can look believable in the ring. Anyways, that's all this week for Raw Power, you guys. Thanks for sticking around. And, yeah. Wednesday's coming soon. Another show. I got a cartoon special coming out sometime this weekend. Y'all stay good, and y'all remember to keep it retro.